So now I'm going to show you my sending the ingest JSON we got back from the synchronizer to our MPS ingest system. You can see here that the body of the request we're sending is that which we received from the synchronizer demo. So I'll just send this off here. Alright, this response with a job ID indicates that the job has successfully started. While it processes, I'll go through first the ingest request and then how the ingest system works. So, as you saw earlier, the ingest request has the manifest itself directly embedded in it. We have some global settings that tell us to where we will be ingesting. And we also have the assets and images property, which is a list of each image that is being ingested. This particular manifest has around 130 pages of images, each of which is represented here. The object for each image contains crucial information, like its location in the source S3 bucket, the sizes of the thumbnails to generate, the identifier, which will be how the image is identified and delivered after ingest, and information on the allowed delivery sizes for when a user is authenticated or not authenticated. Lastly, we have a field for general metadata, which most importantly holds the image's height and width. Now I will give you a quick overview of the components in the ingest system. So first we have the ingest API, and this is to which we sent the ingest request. This component checks for an authorization token in the request's headers and also validates the ingest request against the ingest schema. Assuming that you are authorized and the ingest meets the schema's demands, we then move on to the multi-asset manager and the task manager, which together create a parent job and all child jobs associated with the ingest. One child job is created for each image, and one child job is created for the manifest. The jobs are stored in this Mongo job tracker database. This is accessible by all components as we move through the ingest process. After creation, the jobs are placed on a queue, which is this large component down here, and they will be passed to the queue and picked up by the queue by a series of components. Now, each image ingest works through a 3-worker workflow. First, if the image is a JP2, the asset validation worker ensures that it is a valid JP2. Then the image thumbs worker creates thumbnails at the sizes specified in the ingest request. Finally, the asset is written into the asset database, which stores information about the asset, and the asset cache manager caches it by identifier in Redis for quick lookup. So the database worker stores in the Postgres asset database, and the cache manager is the go-between with that Postgres database and the Redis cache. The manifest goes through a separate workflow of workers. First, the IIIF validator, which was based on the IIIF Prezi validator, ensures that the manifest JSON itself is valid. If the submitted manifest was version 2, like those created by our synchronizer, the IIIF converter, which was based on the Prezi 2-to-3 converter, creates a version 3 manifest. We currently do not downgrade version 3 manifests to version 2. Then both manifests, or one manifest in the case of a submitted version 3 manifest, move on to the IIIF services component, which stores them and caches them by URN for delivery. So now that we've walked through this entire process, let's check on the status of the ingest we just sent in. So heading back over to Postman, and I want to get that job ID. This is the ID for the parent job that was created, and we can use it to check the status at the job status route. So here we can see each child job and whether they succeeded or not. As you can see, it looks like the assets are successful. I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom. So it looks like all of the assets and the manifest have all ingested successfully, which means we have an overall success on the parent job. This means that the manifest should now be deliverable. For that, we have to once more go back to the manifest and get its URL. The manifest is redirected by this permanent link from our name resolution service by its URN identifier. So we can also add a 2 or 3 tag after the manifest tag, which will specify which version of the manifest we want to see delivered. So you see I use the 2 tag to get to the version 2 of the manifest, and I will demonstrate the version 3 of the manifest here. And finally, let's take a look at how this comes together in the Mirador viewer. So I will paste in the URL for the version 2 manifest, and here is our book. And as you can see, we also have the OCR annotations for each page being delivered as well. And just for the sake of completion, I will also show you the version 3 manifest, though it does appear identically in here. So let's get to some pages so we can see OCR text, and that's about it for manifest ingest. Thank you very much.